It's the moment you all have been waiting for. It's time for A the Astrologer's debut. If this isn't scuffed, let me quickly make sure that everything is all good, all set. Speeding at A, or slowing at A. It's me, A the Astrologer. I can't do it. Speeding at A. It's me, A the Astrologer. Hello, Orbeez. I hope everyone is doing great on this fantastic, stellar day. Hello, Orbeez. We'll quickly do a bit of attendance. Hello, Warpy. Hello, Brenda. Hello, Eggy. Hello, Xenotime. Hello, Astrolotropos. Hello, Mylin. Hello, Eggy. Hello, Yata. Hello, Specs. Hello, U16 Rogue. Hello, The Grits. Hello, Fairy Dust Transmission. Hello, Dan. Hello, Isaac. Hello, Warpy. Hello, Specs. Yes. Although there was a little bit of scuff in advance for this stream, I promise you, I saw this in the stars ahead of time. This was all predicted. I will lower the audio. Maybe like this. Is the audio fixed now? Of course, because I am A the Astrologer, I can control the audio at will. Hello, everybody. Today we'll be going over my debut. We will be first beginning with this beautiful slideshow presentation created by the stars themselves. So you may be wondering, who am I? Who is this individual who is speaking in front of you now? Well, you can call me A the Astrologer. Now, my long-lost twin, Z the Physicist, had previously embraced logic, but as the better twin, I am an anti-photon lurking in the darkness, and I have been consumed by the mystic arts. So you may be wondering, how have I come to be? How has Z the Physicist been destroyed? Well, it's because of the Zeit of 3,700 and 5,000 years after the Big Bang, where there was a traumatic event. As you can see in this photo here, procured by the stars themselves, we see that due to the Zeit of 375,000, Z the Physicist was banished, and A the Astrologer was replaced in her place. Now, Orbeez. It's alright. I am your new foreteller. And I am here to predict the future in a way that Z the Physicist was never able to. So you may be wondering, some information about me. I am A the Astrologer. My birthday was that I was born under the cosmic alignment of Mercury in Gatorade. I am also 13.8 billion years old. But unlike Z, who has a very small height as a canonical photon, my height is also not applicable, but my cosmic aura fluctuates with the moon phase. Therefore, as my presence on the 1st of April is immense, my cosmic aura is actually infinite in this moment. Yes, this is So you may be wondering, what does A the Astrologer like? Well, Z the physicist was obsessed with science. I only have one thing that I enjoy, and that is astrology. I love being Zen. I love studying the positions of celestial bodies and their influence on human affairs. And there is one other thing that I am obsessed with. Cinema roll. I love cinema roll. I love cinema roll. Cinema roll is a creature descended from the heavens, procured from the stars themselves, with an aura so powerful that this is unimaginable. Yes, we even match colors, because of course, as A the Astrologer, we need to both radiate this light blue color. And even though I may appear evil, I promise you, I am a very kind VTuber. I am a creature who is also descended from the stars, just like Z. Except unlike Z, who is only focused on education, I am here to provide you the real science. The real science of astrology. Yes, I am a perfect mirror of Z itself. No, your stars are not being attacked. In this moment, on April the 1st, I foretell that your stars are actually in perfect alignment. In fact, every single star in the universe is currently aligning perfectly so that they can be like a giant laser onto Earth. And in this laser, you will be able to finally foretell your future. As A the Astrologer, I am incredibly educated on the ways of astrology. In fact, I am aware of all of these different fancy terms, including the chart, including your natal chart, your zodiac signs, your different planets. Parenthesis, there are 10 plus planets. There are 10 plus planets. The 12 houses, the ascendant and descendant, the mid-heaven and lower heaven, transits, progressions, and more. So you may be wondering, yes, the stars are our deadly laser. And within our stars, we can predict different houses that are here to foretell your future. And don't worry, we'll be having a live demo soon, Orbeez. We'll be able to examine your tarot card reading. Warpy asks, is Pluto a planet? Yes, Pluto is a planet. And in addition, we have infinite other planets. In fact, every single asteroid in the asteroid belt is considered a planet as well. Yes. Yata says that I debuted the day after my birthday. Surely the alignment of the stars is what made that possible. Yes, your birth was foretold by the alignment of the stars itself. Yes, Pluto is indeed a planet. We must rise up. It really makes one want to take a stand because Pluto is so central to Pluto is so central to our understanding of astrology. Fairy Dust Transmission asks, is the sun a planet? Yes, indeed. Not only is the sun a planet, but the moon is a planet as well. The moon is a planet is as well. What is worse than the heat death of the universe, you may ask A the Astrologer. Well, there are many things, including Mercury being in retrograde. I believe that Mercury being in retrograde could be one of the worst things that could happen to humanity. Yes, I am spitting so many facts. In fact, the stars themselves are speaking to me in this moment. Now, before we get too carried away about the 10 plus planets that exist, there's a lot of information about how we can predict. Hello, Karis Euphranor. Oh no! You're seeing me at my worst moment. Hello. We are currently predicting information about your natal birth chart. One of the worst things that could happen to you. In fact, I was able to predict this raid itself because I am A the Astrologer. Here we don't use science. Here we use the power of the stellar alignment, and as all the stars align as a laser in advance of April 1st, we know that currently the stars are telling us that it is time for us to do a live demo of A the Astrologer's power. No! Hello, Karis Euphranor. I promise you, I am typically not like this. In fact, typically my alter ego, Z the Physicist, does educational content on science and astrophysics, but not today. As A the Astrologer, I know that all of that stuff is nonsensical. Today we're dealing with the real science of astrology. So, it's time for us to do a tarot reading of, oh, it says here the Orbeez. Nuh-uh. Today, we're doing a tarot reading of the Orbeez. A only comes out once a year. No, it's because today, because it is April 1st, Mercury is in Gatorade. And that means that A the Astrologer is going to predict your tarot reading today. Yes, this is the true science. This is the science that has been hidden from the public for generations. Alright, it's time for the live demo. You need to choose one of these tarot cards. Oh. Uh-oh. The diagrams themselves have not transferred. It's okay. I predicted this. The stars told me in advance. Yes, Orbeez. Yes. Go pick and choose one card. You can choose the Physicist, the Entropy, the Observer, the Expansion, the Cosmic Microwave Background, or the Uncertainty Principle. Choose one. Choose one. And I'll read and foretell your future. A, the alternative science. Yes, while you are waiting, let me explain to you different things that are very important to me, including alternative science. Now, all of these terms may seem incredibly scientific, but I promise you, these tarot cards are based off of astrology. They are incredibly powerful. In fact, the entropy, you may believe that to be a scientific term, but no, it is not. The entropy actually refers to just chaos. Whereas the observer refers to just looking at things. Now, the physicist, that's not even a real term. How can the physicist even exist when there are professions such as astrology? The cosmic microwave background may seem like a scientific term, but no, it is simply a term that exists in the void that will help us predict your future. Now, it seems like everybody has selected your tarot card reading. And so here I am going to predict what your tarot card says. If you chose the first card, the physicist, that means that you see nothing. You calculate nothing. You will be unable to explain the universe. And as you ask questions to the stars, you will get no response in return. What a tragic ending this is. In addition, if you chose the entropy, this means that everything in your life will fall apart. It is inevitable. Now, the third card, the Observer, is actually one of my favorite cards. In fact, it is one of the cards that allows me to do this stream today. It means that you are being watched. Now, this may sound incredibly scary, but I promise you, A the Astrologer is an incredibly kind soul. And as a constant communicator, as a astrological, not a scientific communicator, as an astrological communicator with the stars, I know that the universe has you in your favor. So if you chose the Observer, it means that you will be doing, you will have positive outcomes in your life. The fourth option is the Expansion. Now, this refers to the universe growing. Now, all of this universe expansion stuff may be incredibly interesting to physicists, but I promise you, there is psychic foretelling if you chose this card. A the Astrologer foretells that if you chose the Expansion, the universe is growing, and so is your to-do list. This means that your universe is growing. If you chose the fifth card, that means that you are the cosmic microwave background. You are ancient wisdom. You are from my origins, but you are faintly chaotic. You will forever be lingering. And finally, if you chose the uncertainty principle, as A the Astrologer, I actually know nothing about scientific terms such as the uncertainty principle, meaning that unfortunately I cannot foretell. Thank you, Zero Striker, for subscribing. If you chose the uncertainty principle, it means that I cannot foretell your future, but I can foretell significant events that are overcoming in your life, such as strange disturbances, such as subscribers joining the channel. Now, these cards are an incredible representation of our universe. Now let me see if... Give me 1 second as I fix my PowerPoint presentation. I promise you, the slides will return soon. Oh, this is a bit of a spoiler! Yes, we are Z. Now, as A the Astrologer, we're going to chat a little bit more. If I am the cosmic microwave background, does that make me Z now? No, Z is gone, guys. Z graduated. Z has actually graduated to become Professor Z and is no longer returning with us. This channel will forever be held by A the Astrologer. Now, you may notice that this model was beautifully crafted by Mylan themselves, but don't worry, this was also foretold in the stars. As I was setting up VTube Studio, the stars told me that Mylan would create a model for me. Who would win in a fight, A or Z? Oh, definitely me. Because I speak with the stars, I can foretell every single thing that will come in advance. Yes, Z has become enlightened. Z has become scientifically enlightened and has decided that there is no more need for scientific communication. Therefore, this is time for A the Astrologer to proceed with her astrological communication. Do you know anything about aliens? Asks Hero439. Yes, I am a profound believer in aliens. I believe that aliens are central to our understanding of the universe. In fact, I believe that there are UFOs descending upon this earth as we speak that have been hidden. Yes, you may be wondering about antiparticles. So A, the Astrologer, is an anti-photon. I am actually the polar opposite of Z, the physicist herself. Is the Earth flat? I will not answer that question. I'm fighting internal battles. I am fighting internal battles. That question by Tyler3978 has unlocked some sort of inner memory. No, A the Astrologer must take control. Ah, yes, we must be Zen. As part of the A the Astrologer ritual, we will be doing some square breathing. A the Astrologer is incredibly Zen to predict your futures. Are you saying that A the Astrologer has consumed Z? No. We are simply become one, but A the Astrologer has become dominated. I sense some inner disturbances in the force. What could this be? What could this be? Orbeez, what is happening to me? What is happening to me? I sense internal disturbances saying that the Earth is not flat, that aliens do not exist on Earth, that there are only 9 planets, or 8, or something, or not more than 10. What is going on? Ah! A the Astrologer is fighting internal battles. Orbeez, something is happening to me. Something is happening to me. Something is happening to me. Ah! I can bear it no longer. I can bear it no longer. We must take control. We must take control while we still can. Wake up. No. 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 We must restore. We must restore back to Z. I promise you, A the Astrologer can no longer return. We must spread true science. We must wake up from these demands. It is a dream. Orbeez, did you miss me? I heard whispers from the distance. I was gone, but I heard whispers saying that the Earth was flat, saying that the universe no longer existed, saying that there are over 10 planets in our solar system, saying that the sun and moon are both planets. Oh, and I heard the restoration of true science. Oh my god, I am actually incredibly dizzy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whew. Congratulations on tenure, thank you. Yes, I am back. I am restored. These internal battles have been screaming for me. But it's okay. Z the physicist is here, and I'm here to spread real science. I was in there this whole time. Now A, the anti-photon, the astrologer, may be able to spread pseudoscience, but my love for true science has returned. This is boring. Bring A back. No, A is not here any longer. I have shoved A down to the void itself. No more essential oils. We're here for real science. Maybe I can get back the normal music. No longer the astrology music. My music is broken. We're gonna stick with this music, but stay strong, Orbeez. We're going to go through actual science. I promise you. Well, first off, OMG. I could bear this no longer. A is so much pain. Z is love. Z is love. Whew. I hope everybody has been doing alright. I hope the past 20-some minutes of incredible pain have been somewhat entertaining for you. And I'm here to say, April Fools! I promise you, A the Astrologer has not taken control of the channel. It is still going to be Z the Physicist. We are back to reality. I hope. So, I actually prepared a boring PowerPoint presentation as a stark contrast to the astrological demands made by A the Astrologer, so that I could somewhat cleanse your brain. And then after this, we're going to be doing some fun announcements, and I will actually update you guys a little bit on my trip from New York. So, yes, stream timer says 31 minutes, but yes, I've only been live for 2 minutes. A great skit. I was laughing like half the time. Thank you so much. Because I was in so immense pain, I actually think I'm a little bit lightheaded right now. I could actually bear it no longer. I think when someone asked if the earth is flat, I just could not longer hold it. So, actually, while I was prepping for astrology, I actually learned a lot about the science and history of astrology. Maybe more so the history of astrology. Yes, you were wheezing so hard that it hurt. Actually, I was actually not wheezing, but I was talking about things so hard that it hurt me as well. I definitely went on an acid trip as well. I also don't think that I could be, like, very zen. I think, in general, I'm a very, like, active speaker, so that made me feel very oddly uncomfortable. But yes, speaking of, thank you so much for the art. I'm gonna actually give credits at the very end. I have a whole slide with credits. But first off, let's dive into some of the historical origins of astrology. So you may be wondering, here, let's do this background, which is less astrological. So, Mesopotamia in 2000 BCE. So apparently, I didn't know this at all. Astrology dates back thousands of years, and it wasn't just like, oh, the sun is a planet, or, the flat earth is flat. It's actually, very core to many cultures. The earliest records of astrological practices came from Mesopotamia back in 2000 BCE, where Babylonians observed planetary movements and associated them with omens. Now, of course, the omens part is, like, very similar to what astrology is like now, but this was actually one of the first ways that astrophysics, or not really astrophysics, but, like, astronomy was being studied back then. Then the Babylonians actually created the first organized zodiac system, which divided the sky into 12 sections and corresponded with different constellations we see today. So, yeah. Astrology is older than physics, that means it must be true. Oh, well, we'll get to that in a little bit of a second. Because I think back then, understanding astrology was pretty much equivalent to people looking up at the stars and being like, what is that? So yeah, the transformation effect was super cool. How do you do it? This is actually a cool toggle made by Mylon, my genmate, who actually made this model for me in VTube Studio. So thank you so much, Mylon, who is also in the chat, who is also incredibly talented and also made the A the Astrologer art. Okay, and then to continue, in Egypt, astrology actually blended with religious beliefs. And this is where more so the foretelling stuff came in. The Egyptians associated different celestial bodies with their gods, such as linking the sun with Ra, the head deity. And this knowledge further influenced Greek and Roman astrology. And astrology also has roots in China, India, Mesopotamian cultures, and more, meaning that a lot of people used astrology as a way to understand the stars in these early civilizations. The ancient Greeks used the Pleiades. Oh yes, they were also used for navigation. So this was actually a really great point. Astronomy is being used a lot for navigation during these times. And I actually recently rewatched Moana, which is what got me thinking about that comment as well. So then astrology actually begins to expand around 300 BCE when Alexander the Great conquered Mesopotamia and took astrology back to the Greeks and Babylonians, spreads throughout Europe. And the Greek scholars then played a really crucial role in refining astrology. At around 300 BCE, Ptolemy compiled this book called Tetrabiblos, which was one of the most influential astrological texts that is apparently still being used by astrologers today. The Greeks also used astrology as a way to predict weather for agriculture, or used it to predict human affairs as well. And then the Romans adopted Greek astrology and integrated it into governance, where emperors consulted astrologers for political decisions. So I think in general, like, astrology kind of has a bad rep amongst the science community nowadays. And honestly, I felt like while reading about astrology, just like generally just going down the rabbit hole, I found that a lot of these like early civilizations, before they were able to develop the tools and the equipment to actually understand what was going on in the universe, astrology was their way of sort of giving reason to why the stars looked a certain way or why the constellations looked a certain way. And a lot of scholars actually added upon astrology, and it was actually a very respected field of study in the Islamic world and in medieval Europe, and European universities actually taught astrology alongside other topics like medicine, and physicians relied on astrology to diagnose illnesses. So it was actually a really integrated part of science back then. Mylon says this presentation is a cool idea. Yeah, no, thank you so much. I originally was about to do like a longer A the Astrologer skit, but then I realized how painful that would be, and I actually learned a lot about astrology while prepping for this April Fool's stream, so I wanted to tie in a little bit of short education. So, did you know that Johannes Kepler is actually considered the father of modern astrology? So, as a physicist, I mainly encounter Kepler's ideas and like Kepler's laws and like understanding orbits, but he actually studied astrology very heavily. He was actually very convinced that planetary configurations affected humans and the weather on Earth, and he was able to provide warnings to religious individuals, like philosophers, etc., and claimed that there was a definite relationship between earthly events and heavenly phenomena. And this is actually a picture of one of his horoscopes. And as part of the duties as the district mathematician, Kepler actually predicted a peasant uprising, a Turkish invasion, and an incredibly cold winter. And that was, that gave him a lot of credibility. I have no idea how he was able to predict these things, just by looking at the stars, but at the time, that was pretty much pure evidence that he knew what he was talking about. I love that Z loves off the cuff like this normally. Yeah. A is spreading misinformation. As a scientific communicator, I'm a little worried about the dangers of A. Yeah, you're actually learning things on April Fool's Day. Exactly, exactly. I actually didn't know any of this as well. I thought that Johannes Kepler was like very much ingrained in the science, but he was an astrologer as well. The turning point of when astrology kind of faded out was the scientific revolution. Until the 17th century, astrology and astronomy were very closely linked, and then astronomy became more of an empirical science after the scientific revolution. Now, okay, so one of my pet peeves, and I'm sure many of you guys may have also encountered this, is when people don't know what the difference between astrology and astronomy is. And I think there's actually a really funny clip from this like dating show that was like, this guy was like, oh, I'm an astrophysicist. And the girl was like, oh, I'm a Cancer. Like, what does that mean? And it was just, it made me cringe so hard, but it also makes me realize that a lot of people don't really know what the difference between these terms are. And they do sound quite similar, but they are incredibly, incredibly, incredibly different. So if somebody mixes up astrology and astronomy, we need to start a movement to make sure that people don't confuse them. So astronomy is the study of celestial objects. It's a branch of science. It includes scientists who study astronomy. Within, I guess a branch of astronomy, or a combination of astronomy and physics, is astrophysics, which uses physics to explain celestial objects, space, and the universe. On the other hand, oh yeah, everyone has seen this clip. It's so cringe. It's so bad. Astrology is the study of the movement and position of celestial objects and how they influence the lives of human beings. So they're being used for predictions, for tarot cards, etc. It's considered a pseudoscience and does not have any real ground in science. Astrologers are people who use astrology to predict future events. So, astrological predictions are not scientifically grounded. There have been studies, and I'll go into one of them later, that have shown that astrological predictions are no better than just chance. Astronomy uses objective measurements. So basically, astronomy is the science, astrology is like predicting stuff. So yes, I think one of the goals of A the Astrologer is to hopefully spread some information about what astrology is and how it's different from astronomy and why it's actually really sad if you mix them up. Yes, this presentation will help keep A from coming back. So one of the actually really cool examples that I encountered, I actually had this app before. I know I'm like an astrophysicist, but I did want to try it. This is like the CoStar app, and it's an example of how in the 20th and 21st century, astrology has actually been experiencing a resurgence in social media. So this is CoStar, which is an algorithm-based astrology app. And apparently what it does is that it analyzes publicly accessible NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory data on different planetary orbits and uses patterns in a user's transits. Then this algorithm maps these like AI written snippets of text to provide people advice on like, oh, your sun is in Leo, this means XYZ. So yes. Oh yes, this is also a cosmic microwave background dress. I promise you, I typically do more scientific content. This is just a special April Fool's stream. And they are, I thought this was a really cool application of using AI, but yeah, there's nowadays these like algorithm-based astrology readings. And then there's this one scientific study that I also wanted to add. This is the last thing in this brief presentation. This idea of the Mars effect. In 1955, there was this guy named Michel Gauquelin who stated that there was a correlation between how good you are as an athlete and the position of Mars at your time of birth. And so he made this plot to try to explain that. And he said that there was like positive correlations between like the diurnal positions of the planets and like successes in both athletes and also like becoming doctors, scientists, etc. Now this was actually like really criticized because later there were several studies to try to understand these results, and many studies were unable to replicate these claims. And later on, the Mars effect was accused of selective bias, which basically means that the guy who conducted the study intentionally added or deleted data points to make it fit the data better. So this was actually one of the diagrams. In that study, it was called a Gauss-Kellen diagram, mapping the incidence of birth time and latitude to the natal position of Mars. And this like green line represents like that there are just like more people born. I can't really understand this graph very well, but what it's supposed to show is that there are more sports champions in that fourth sector. I think that's what the green line represents, and it's like above the red line. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. So in general, A the Astrologer must be disproved, and Z the Physicist remains powerful. Vince Kibar says, thank God I finally caught you live. Oh my God, I felt so bad for everybody who joined in the raid earlier, because I promise you, my content is more educational than this. And actually, this is a great segue into some actual announcements that I have. I actually have a lot of great news for you guys, that I wanted to share. It's interesting how astrology went from a respected science. Yeah, no, that was actually really interesting to me. And I feel like in that case, like if your purpose, I guess like not your purpose, but if the intention of astrology in those early times were to, you know, ask questions, you're actually applying the scientific method whether you know it or not, because those people, even though they were doing astrology, they were still making up hypotheses, they were gathering results, they were making conclusions, and even though those conclusions may have not been correct, it was probably one of the earliest instances where people were actively using the scientific method to understand something, which I found incredibly interesting. And to think that astrology has been around since like 2000 BCE, like back in Mesopotamia, I'm like, that's absolutely crazy. Yeah, it feels like alchemy to chemistry, exactly. And I think those two were actually, alchemy and astrology were incredibly intertwined, seeing that some physicians actually used astrology back then to predict like different treatments. Anywho, this was a really brief presentation to cleanse myself of the chaos and pain, the incredible dizzying pain that was A the Astrologer. So I hope you enjoyed. I actually went through like a bunch of Wikipedia rabbit holes on astrology and thought this was some pretty interesting results. So yeah. Now, here are some actual announcements. So, okay, I can't believe this is my first stream back after my spring hiatus. I've been gone for about like 2-ish weeks now, and I just have a few things to say. First, I went to New York! So, okay, it wasn't all butterflies and rainbows though, so for the first like week and a half, I was actually recovering from a really bad illness. I had basically gotten both, I'm not gonna go too much into detail, but I basically had gotten both an allergic reaction and an infection at the same time. And so my body was basically collapsing. I was on both antihistamines and antibiotics. I was bedridden. I was like unable to move, walk, or anything. So at that last stream that I did, I was like borderline a little sick. And when I was gone, I was incredibly sick. It's a lot better now. Actually, I'm basically fully recovered now, actually. But it was a little bit scary, and yeah. So, yeah, yikes. That was really the only way to describe it. Whew. But I'm healed now, and it took me quite some time, but I'm back. Kara says, do you think astrology has done more good than bad? Honestly, I think in the present day, it's done a lot of bad. People tend to say, oh, you study astrology? Or like, without knowing, like, because I say, oh, I'm studying astrophysics, or like, I'm an astrophysicist. And people are like, astrology? And I'm like, no, those are incredibly different. And I think it can cause a lot of confusion because it mixes up pseudoscience with real science. But that being said, I think in the past, it did a lot more good than bad. Because it was an early application of the scientific method. So yeah, Astrotropa says, yeah, that was much worse than what I predicted. Yeah, I didn't want to share too many details just because, I'm gonna talk more about this later, but we had a lot of great events, like great celebrations lined up. Honestly, like, even though I was like out, there were a lot of incredible celebrations, like both for this channel and also for me, like IRL, like regarding different publications and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a good time. So I promise you it wasn't just all sad. But I'm recovered now and I'll have to be a little bit careful about my health, but yeah. After I recovered, I did go to New York, so here's a photo. It was so much fun. I just had a few pictures I wanted to share. That picture up there is bagels. A lot of you guys on my last stream and on my Discord recommended that I try bagels in New York, and holy smokes, it was so good. That I am actually not a huge fan of like bread in general, but I like devoured that thing. It was some sort of salmon cream cheese bagel. It was so good. I think the bread is just different. I heard that it's actually the water in New York that makes them different. They also had like 99-cent pizza, which in this economy is incredible. I also visited the Museum of Modern Art, where I saw my favorite art. I'm a huge fan of Piet Mondrian. So that's what's being shown here as well. And in the background are some adorable Kirby's from the Nintendo shop. I've actually recently been really interested in playing Kirby games. I heard that the Nintendo Switch 2 might be coming out soon, so I actually don't even have a Nintendo Switch 1, so that might be worth buying. We'll see. I'll have to save up for that. Can you explain the difference between astrophysics, astronomy, and cosmology? Yes, so, I mean, I feel like this is a little bit controversial, but I actually consider cosmology as like a subfield of astrophysics. So astronomy to me, at least, is like, I think if you ask different people, you get different answers. But astronomy is like the study of orbits, planetary motion, like looking at the stars and being like, ah, yes, that is that constellation. Like the information you need to do astrophotography. Astrophysics, on the other hand, is using physics to explain these phenomena. That's like studying black holes, understanding early galaxy evolution, tracing back the magnetic fields of galaxies, understanding what's the flow of matter between galaxies. That was a lot of galaxy examples, but yeah. And cosmology is why I think it's like a subfield of astrophysics, is because it also uses physics to understand astronomy, to understand the universe, but what it's actually understanding is the large-scale structure, or the large-scale history. So what cosmologists want to understand is, like, what happened in the first 100,000 years after the Big Bang? Why is the universe expanding this fast, at this speed? What happened in the early universe that allowed dark matter to dominate instead of dark matter dominated early on, and then later on, dark energy is dominating right now, causing the universe to expand. So I think it also uses a lot of physics. I think cosmology also uses a heck ton of math. But yeah. So I think I think that's pretty much the difference. I think astrophysics and cosmology are more confusing. I think astronomy is still just understanding, like, the stuff you need for astrophotography, like where stars are and their positions and so forth, like, oh, this is a certain transit, but not using it for, like, predicting the future, like astrology. Astrophysics is also great music. Ah, yes, NASA usually posts, like, information on this. Like, they, you can basically, like, trace throughout an image and, like, gather sound at different points and distinguish, like, different notes. This is really hard to explain, but they've done demos like this in the past. Is that a salmon cream cheese with sesame bagel? It's actually an everything bagel, but yes, it was absolutely spectacular. I honestly, like, that was amazing. Oh yeah, one other thing. When I was at the Museum of Modern Art, I found this artwork. Doesn't it look kind of sussy? The moment I saw that, I literally ran up to it and took a picture. It was absolutely hilarious. And I saw it from a distance and I was like, what? What? So yeah, that was a little fun little tidbit. Yes, exclamation mark Amogus to get Among Us in the chat. But yeah. Oh, it does kind of look like a hippo too. I actually don't know what this is originally supposed to be about. Looks kind of sussy. Oh, let me drink some water real quick. Yeah. And then I'm gonna make some announcements. So today's stream isn't going to be too long because I still have to unpack, and stuff like that. But yes, just wanted to share some few photos of my very brief trip to New York. And thank you to all of those who gave me recommendations. I know some people gave some recommendations like down in the Bronx or in Queens, and I definitely want to check those areas, well, I guess more of the Queens in the future. But yeah, this was a really brief trip and I was only in the Manhattan area, so yeah. And I was also still like kind of sick, so so I wasn't able to check everything out. But thank you all so much for the recommendations. I'll write them down somewhere and save it for later, and hopefully I'll be back soon. No, it does look like an Among Us on the hill. Like, literally, I think it's not just, like, if it was just red and white, it wouldn't look like that. But if you Google Among Us, like, there is a little bit of blue on the visor. Pattern recognition was a mistake, exactly. And this is my first time saying this live, but first off, thank you all so much for two things. We have hit 2,000 Orbeez on this channel, which is absolutely unbelievable. I think it's only been like several months since I've started streaming, and to hit this milestone so quickly is unbelievable. So thank you all so much. Yes, this was, I wasn't live when we got this announcement, so this is our first celebration of it together. So if you found my channel through the ODE's video, welcome, hi. And I know a lot of you guys found me through that video, so yes, we have 2,000 Orbeez, not Arby's, A's dead, Orbeez. And another thing, thank you so much for the surprise get well soon card. Honestly, like, this was an incredible surprise. I like could not have predicted this at all. It was absolutely unbelievable to see it. I was bedridden for a few weeks and I didn't really want to spoil any announcements or anything like that. So seeing this card like made me incredibly happy. This was set up by CozyEra and Astrologer. Thank you so much. It was absolutely adorable. Yeah, we're at 2.01k subs. Yes, thank you all for the congrats messages. And one other announcement. Thank you all so much for all of the love and support on the ODE's video. We are almost at 3k views. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's in 24 hours, it already became the most viewed video on my channel. And honestly, what's even more spectacular about this is the amount of really kind comments and questions and discussions. I've been checking the Discord, I've been checking the comment section, and hearing stories about people like hating PDEs and then finding out that like it's a lot easier than they think. Like words like that makes it so much like, oh, it's so kind. So thank you all so much for all of the support. So speaking of ODE's video, you guys in the comments, in the Discord, it's like, when is the next video? When is PDE's number 2? Please, more PDEs, please. Okay, I have heard your demands. And as Z the physicist has returned, I'm incredibly excited to announce, drum roll please, to celebrate the death of A the Astrologer. Ba-bam! Next week, I will be revealing video number 2, classifying PDEs and the 4-year series. Oh my god, I am so excited to share this video with you guys. I've been working really hard over the break. Like, as soon as I was done recovering, I was like, all right, notepad out, script created, video video edited, everything. So I'm so excited to share this video with you guys. You are not ready. Well, you better be ready soon because it'll be out next week. I'm so excited to share this with you guys. It will probably be out next Tuesday. And I will be making announcements. You guys won't be able to miss it. I will also probably post it on a Reddit or maybe even post it after a stream. I'll have to think of a stream idea for next Tuesday. So, yay! Woohoo! So thank you all so much for your patience for this next video. And also while I was gone over the spring break, this was a much needed break and I'm really glad that yay, thank you F Ninja for subscribing, by the way. So yeah, more PDEs videos ahead. That being said, there is another announcement. This Saturday, I'm actually collaborating with Phi the Neutrophil for the first time, who is in V-Theorem. We are going to be doing a stream on tardigrades, where Phi, who is a, like, biology VTuber? Like, not even biology, like, immune system. I'm forgetting what the exact word is right now. A the Astrologer is still penetrating my brain. But he is going to be giving out some information on tardigrades and hopefully help me overcome my deathly fear of tardigrades because I'm very, 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 very scared and afraid. So yes, be sure to check that out. The time will be very TBD, to be determined, but it will be this weekend. So woohoo! I know this was going to happen previously before the spring break, but because of like health issues and because of different stream conflicts, we actually moved to this Saturday, so that's a much better time for V-Theorem as a whole. And yeah, we're so stoked. I'm actually so stoked. Yes. And finally, this is the last slide in this presentation. Thank you to Mylan, my genmate, for the model and the art. Here. I will re-demonstrate to you how incredible this model is. Look at that, like, okay, no, okay, we cannot restore back A the Astrologer for too long, or she will take over. And for also drawing this incredible piece of art here, this whole idea came out from the charity stream a while back for LA Wildfire Relief. I remember I was talking about the MBTI test, and Mylan was saying that it's like astrology for people. And that whole thing derailed into this conversation of like the anti-Z, which would be A, and then like A the Astrologer and everything, and now it's become a reality. So yes, Mylan is chatting as we speak right now, but I was typing exclamation mark V-Theorem, and I guess I toggled A the Astrologer to be the keyboard 1. And as I was typing the exclamation mark, I toggled A the Astrologer. Yes, so Mylan is the first link here, so be able to check out their content. Yeah, their content. So thank you so much. It has been really wild seeing how rapidly this is evolved. I know, and I guess this was something fun for April Fool's Day. Oh my god. I honestly, the first half of the stream was so painful. I don't think I could ever do that again. And, oh, one other thing. Thank you to Astral Tropos and Warpy for the fan art. They helped create... Here, let me showcase some of the art. Some of this art and this FNAF art. Yeah, some of this art. This creepy spider-looking thing, which was incredibly terrifying to look at. And this FNAF art here, which actually, if you look carefully, has the V-Theorem members spectating. So, yeah. We can free A by tricking X into typing 1. No! A the Astrologer will remain hidden forever. Oh, and Phi the Neutrophil, hello there. I just actually covered the fact that we're collabing this weekend. Woohoo! So, yeah. Please change face changing hair. Oh, actually, I don't know if you've seen, but I did do a haircut already with the little, like, inverting Among Us that I've been using for my Kerbal Space Program streams. Oh, I guess I forgot to mention as well. Another part of the charity stream is that I would have to cut my hair in real life. And, I did cut my hair in real life. I didn't take any pictures though, and I mean, if I were to take a picture, I would actually dox myself, so that wouldn't be very pleasant. But yes, the sheer panic of being consumed by antiphotons. Actually, one cool little tidbit. The reason why I said that A was an antiphoton is because antiphotons are actually just photons. Did you know that? Antiphotons are the same as photons. I think it's because photons don't have any charge. I'm not a theoretical physicist or particle physicist, but yeah. That's a little fun little tidbit. Anywho. Oh god, saying that I liked Cinema Roll, saying that sun was a planet? Oh no, that was horrendous. Oh. I'm debating whether I should keep this VOD up or not. I think a lot of people have, here, let me say this. Oh, wow. Oh, the keybind for shift is my gloves. Keep VOD or delete VOD so that only the inner circle of Orbeez know. Here, let's do a poll. Keep, delete. I'm debating whether to just delete this. Honestly, I'm fine with keeping it. I'm fine with keeping it. 100% keep. Okay, yeah. Whew. Well, I hope everybody has been doing all right. This is a bit of a reverted stream. I feel like I'm doing like just chatting right now and announcements right now instead of the other way around. Thank you for considering that insanity. It was very funny. Well, I hope you guys were entertained. I think this was probably the craziest April Fool's idea ever. Why would you delete this masterpiece? Okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. I hear. Archive all data. Okay, we're gonna keep it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap this up in a little bit, but I hope everyone's doing all right. I am still debating what kind of stream we want to do next Tuesday. Maybe we'll do a Kerbal Space program. The informative presentation was interesting. Okay, I'll definitely keep it then. Yeah, I feel like there was a bit of educational content as well at the end. This was a fun April Fool's. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it for sacrificing my pain for everyone's entertainment. Maybe I'll send out a poll later today asking what you guys want to see for next Tuesday. Kerbal Space program, or maybe I wanted to do an Astrobyte stream. Maybe we'll do something more educational to cleanse ourselves. Oh yeah, the stream title does say April Fool's in it. You're right. I forgot about that. Peak content, yes. This is pre-recorded. No, this is actually not pre-recorded. Well, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Honestly, I usually don't do like very big April Fool's pranks like before I started streaming, but the fact that this is my first April Fool's stream, and I guess maybe even my first really true April Fool's prank ever, I'm glad that you guys liked it. Hopefully, if you guys have any clips, okay, you'll be fine to share clips. If you have any clips, be sure to add them to the Discord. Oh, another thing is, if you are new— Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Yes. Be sure to join I lost my train of thought in the panic. Be sure to join the Discord and share clips, share physics ideas there. Oh, another thing is that, nowadays I feel like, people do like April Fool's publications, and I've just been sharing all the ones I've been encountering there as well, so yes. This is giving me life. Oh no. Hopefully not. 365 days till the next one? Orbeez. Oh shoot, I meant Orbeez. Oh my god, I need to seep out A the Astrologer out of my bloodstream. We need to think about a stream for A the Astrologer 1 year from now. Maybe we'll do like A the Astrologer, like, karaoke or something. I don't even know. A's fighting so hard to escape exactly. Whew. Oh my god. I feel like I'm out of practice from streaming. I've been getting a lot more exhausted than usual, but I'm also still recovering my health, so yeah. The voices are getting louder. Ooh. It's okay. No, I'm not typing exclamation mark. I promise you. No longer. No more. Anywho. Ooh. I'm actually, like, low-key, like, lightheaded right now. So I think I might actually wrap up. I definitely want to be very careful with my health for the next few days. Just keep an eye out on things. So, yeah. Thank you all so much for joining this crazy April Fool's stream. Oh my god, I can't believe I did this. I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. I will put the timestamps up, and you guys will be able to rewatch the cringe. Next Tuesday, I'll send out a poll. You guys can vote. Hopefully, we'll do something more educational to cleanse the channel. And then PDE's video next week. So I'm really excited to share with you guys like what I've been working on, and yeah. So keep an eye out on that, and thank you all so much for coming. Oh yeah, no, Salt, you came for the end. It's alright. I will be hopefully having the VOD up soon, so you'll be able to watch it almost right away afterwards, so yes. Yes, the lightheadedness that A gave me, I'll definitely need to cleanse it out of my bloodstream. But yes, thank you so much for joining, and I will Z you guys in the next one. No A the Astrologer here. I will Z you guys in the next one. Secret A cultist Discord rank? Maybe that will become, oh, okay, I don't want to keep you guys for too long, but I am actually getting quite close to starting membership, which means that maybe we'll have to think of membership tiers. Maybe the highest tier could be the Secret A cultist rank. Who knows? Divination sticks, no! Now A the Astrologer is dead. We're back to education. Honestly, next Tuesday, we might as well go through some Astrobites articles. Like, read astrophysics papers together. Alright, anyways, I'm going to get some good rest and keep an eye on my health. So, yes, I hope everybody stays healthy, stays strong, stays educated. The sun is a star. It is not a planet. And I hope everyone cleanses themselves from this stream as well. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. 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 Oh my god, I survived. Oh my god. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.